myself? Am I quiet? Let's see. I think this is fine. So. Having this candy. No sugar. It's called Ricola. It's Swiss. Swiss candy. We launched the game. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's see. Game takes a bit to load, actually. Okay, let's continue. Weapons employment. Understanding the vital tactical view and how to properly engage targets with ship-mounted weapons are paramount to proper fighting force in the fleets. Okay, so we're getting the frigates. Which are the same, but they have a different loadouts. From the interface, weapon control is as simple as point and click. Well, maybe not that simple, but it's easier than having to run a command down the line. Basic weapons trial. It will be fun. Hell yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Now comes my favorite part. Weapons and how to use them.
Yes, weapons. Kind of forgot how to navigate. Oh, there we go. Oh shit. On the keyboard? Oh, the keyboard's okay. That's the worst.
Don't worry about that red contract over in the distance. It's a decommissioned frigate that's been tugged out here for target practice.
Ooh.
Before we get to weapons, we need to learn about the tactical view. You can switch between tactical and normal views by pressing spacebar.
Oh, there we go. Tactical view.
The view controls here are the same as before, but you can zoom out much further and get a better idea of the situation in the battle space. Take a moment to look around now.
Yeah.
The tactical view provides you with a lot of information that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. It's your primary way of knowing what's happening around you. You'll be using it a lot.
I see.
The range plane shows you both elevation of targets and their distance from a given point. When no ships are selected, it sits at the center of the battle space.
Elevation and distance. Oh, I see. So it centers on my selected ship, but otherwise it's like just in the middle.
Select the small beginnings now to see how the plane changes.
Yeah, I did.
What can we do?
Take note that the range plane moved to center on that ship. It'll also track with it. All ranges will be indicated relative to your currently selected ship. Notice that the line from the enemy track to the range plane has a slight curve. This is because elevation and range are not directly related, so the contact's distance on the plane must be projected onto a sphere.
I'll come back. Range plane has a slight curve. Elevation and range. Wait, what? Oh, this thing. Oh man. Must be the, I don't know, the gravity. Elevation and range are not directly related. Interesting. Maybe some physics stuff.
This layout makes it easy to determine the range of a target by looking at the position of the plane relative to your selected ship's capabilities. The dotted lines represent maximum ranges of your ship's systems. Red indicates offensive range, blue is sensor range, and defensive systems are green.
Interesting. Defensive systems are green.
While there are common ship configurations found throughout the fleet, most ships have some unique capability. The ANS Small Beginnings is configured with 2 Mark 62 twin-barrel 120mm cannons and a 16-cell vertical missile launcher.
Well, my plan is to finish the tutorial and see how I like it. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so right.
I'm unlocking your weapon systems now, so let's put gunnery to the test with some tried and true naval fire.
Let's do it.
There are several ways to target weapons. The fastest and simplest is by shooting directly at the sensor track. To do this, right-click the red sensor track to bring up the action menu in track mode. The action menu will indicate it is in track mode by displaying the targets and track number in the space.
Right.
It will automatically open the weapons list if there are any weapons on the ship.
Okay.
The active targeting mode is shown at the top of the list. Right now we are in track mode indicated by TRK. We'll talk about other modes later. Select the cannons from the weapon list and light up the target.
Copy. Opening fire.
There we go.
Definitely seeing some hits there. Looking
Oh yeah?
good.
Can't see shit. I'm like super tilted.
If the guns can't hit a target, the ship will automatically roll itself to get currently active weapon on angle on the target. This is called unmasking.
If you press on a target and press F. Let's see. I have a right. So I think I just don't see it, right? Oh, like it's here somewhere.
Receiving.
Hmm.
Right now you'll notice that our fire is pretty inaccurate. This is because our targeting solution isn't using a fire control lock. The red dot jumping around near the track shows where our sensors think the target is.
Standing by.
Let's improve our targeting accuracy by locking the target with our bullseye fire control radar, located on the top of the ship.
What? The what?
To do this, right-click the track and select the LCK, or lock, at the top of the action menu. You can also use the X key keyboard shortcut.
Dialing in, Commander.
Use the X. Looks like that's something important.
Notice the new icon on the target. This indicates that the target is locked on and is providing much better accuracy and increased update rate on the target. Remember, not all ships have fire control radar, and you'll only be able to get a lock with ships that have them equipped.
Okay.
Right now we are shooting armor-piercing, AP, shells at the target. Armor-piercing is effective on armor plating, but will only deal damage to internal components directly in the shell's path once it punctures the hull.
Only deal damage to internal right.
Well, any damage is a good thing. We can deal even more damage by switching the shell type to high explosive, dealing damage to a wide area in the target's internals. We use high explosive, HE shells, against targets of appropriate size or smaller, or larger targets with heavy armor damage. HE shells cause much less damage to armor, but penetration will explode inside and do damage to all nearby components and personnel.
Okay.
To switch to HE shells, first open the action menu in track mode by right-clicking the track.
Wait, what?
In the weapons list, next to the cannons entry, click on the ammunition icon to open the ammunition list. Click the 120mm HE shell option to select it.
Damn.
The ammo switch is now pending and will only be executed if a new fire order is given. To begin firing the new ammo type, click the weapon group to confirm the ammunition change.
Okay, I did. Right?
Target.
Now we'll
there we
select the
go.
small beginnings and watch what it's up to.
You have to press the cannons, yeah. Okay.
The mounts display shows the ship's cannons are firing and cycling. When the yellow bar is filled, the cannon will fire again. We can also see that the fire controls radar is solid green, indicating it's active and it has an active lock-on.
True.
Here's the active orders list, showing an icon for each order the ship is currently executing. Right now we have an order to fire our guns and an order to lock the target.
Oh, that's useful.
Have the small beginnings hold fire and break their lock on by right-clicking on the order icons to cancel them.
Hold fire and break the lock.
And that's the basics of gunnery. The key thing is to know what ammunition to use, especially as your target takes more damage to warrant the big stuff. But what if you don't have a sensor track?
Yeah.
Take a look at your ship's hulls, and you'll notice the 4 white octagons on the sides. These are radar panels, and provide coverage for their respective sector of space. There's also a central control module inside the ship, which track what these panels see. When panels are damaged or destroyed, you'll lose coverage in that area. Similarly, if the radar controller is destroyed, you'll lose all coverage in all directions. Obviously, fighting blind is not a good thing.
Oh man.
But that won't put you out of the fight just yet. Direct fire weapons like cannons can fall back on visual targeting.
Yeah.
Will provide targeting data to your guns using onboard optics.
Yeah, that's
Some
what I
weapons
was
like
thinking
missiles
about.
can't do this, however.
Switch to manual. Like on the Star Trek or something.
I've ordered your crew to disable the radar. Take a moment and observe what happens. You don't want the first time you're operating without radar to be the real deal. With sensors disabled, you will now see visual contacts when you have one of your ships selected, and nothing when no ship is selected. Visual contacts are only useful to the ship that actually sees the target, unlike the sensor track, which was shared
Yeah, but
across all ships.
the distances must be, you know, big.
If you don't see anything, you'll need to move within visual range, about 3,200 meters. I've created a marker in the general area for your reference. That won't happen in actual battle. You can fire on visual contacts.
I just
the same
wouldn't
way you
see
did with
shit.
sensor tracks. Use visual targeting to fire at the target ship with the small beginnings guns again.
Right. Shoot at the target. Do I have to move? Shoot the target with visual targeting. Right. But didn't they say something about... No, I don't think. I mean, no, this makes no sense. Do I have to move closer? No, I was trying that. I was trying to click on the lens. What if I do this? Oh,
Order received.
there we go.
Engaging now.
Let's see. See if that's what the tutorial wants me to do. Bearing to target. Maybe I should just move closer. Which one was it? Move to position.
We're underway, Commander.
Firing cannons at position. I mean, this doesn't look correct. Let's move a bit closer.
Moving out, Commander.
Oh, there we go.
Order received. Engaging now.
There we go. Basically, I was too far away to actually visually.
In a situation like this, you can imagine things
See
are
him.
not going too well for you, but you'll at least still be a threat, so don't feel too cut up if your sensors go dark.
Now I can see it. Bam. Oh shit. I'm just kind of curious. Yes, these are definitely, the holes are like where I'm shooting, because this is the new one. Yeah, this thing looks damaged. The sensor, I think. Okay, let's continue.
Now missiles. The ships in this fleet carry two variants of the SGM-2 series anti-ship cruise missiles,
Oh,
the Thunderhead and the Hurricane.
missiles. Yeah, I hope it's gonna explode.
The Hurricane is a command-guided missile, which means it is guided to the target by a launching ship. If it misses the target, it will come back around and try again until it runs out of fuel, is shot down, or finally hits the target. Command missiles are very difficult to avoid. The only way to defeat them without destroying the missile itself is by destroying the launching ship or jamming its sensors or communication. Shoot the archer, as we say. The downside is that the Hurricane must be shot at a sensor track. If you lose a track, the Hurricane will be useless. Let's launch 3 Hurricane missiles at the target. Start by opening the action menu in track mode on the target.
We're ready when you are, Commander.
Okay, so let's stop this for now. Action menu. Oh, you can fire cannons. Yeah, but just to keep it nice and clean.
Now select the SGM-225 Hurricane with the weapons list.
Oh,
This will
right.
queue up a single missile shot at the target and leave you with an active track selection widget.
A
Multiple
single.
missiles can be fired with a single order using the left Alt key. Hold the left Alt key and click on the target to add one more missile per click. The number of queued missiles is shown next to your mouse cursor. To issue the order, you can either click the left mouse button with the left Alt key released, or you can press the Enter key. Once you've issued a launch order, you'll notice the Mount Status display will show the number of missiles that are being spun up for a launch. It takes time between when the target is selected and when the missile actually leaves the ship. This warm-up time is when the weapons control system brings the missile online, checks it for errors, establishes a reference frame for the IMU, uploads the target package, and more.
Jeez.
Programming time varies by missile type, with more complicated missiles taking more time.
Wow.
The number of missiles that can be warmed up and programmed at the same time is referred to the ship's maximum salvo size, and it varies from ship to ship based on its configuration.
Salvo
These 2 frigates
size.
each have 4 channels, so 4 missiles can be fired at a time.
Oh, I see.
Missiles are one of your most limited and precious resources, second only to the ships themselves.
Hmm.
They are extremely powerful, but extremely scarce. You'll need to know when to use them, as it can't be replenished under normal circumstances outside of a port.
What can we do for you, Commander?
I mean, let's do it.
Understood. Launching missile.
Oh shit. There we go. Tilting.
A frigate like the Rains will be crippled by only 2 or 3 missile hits, but in a real fight, it will often take more than that to penetrate an enemy's point defense, which are a serious threat to hurricanes as they tend to fly in a direct path. The ANS Dusty Tome is carrying a different missile loadout. Select the ship now so we can take a look at it.
Dusty Tome. Different loadout.
This frigate is carrying Thunderheads, an active radar-guided missile, which means it carries its own method for finding targets, allowing it to seek targets by itself. It can be targeted in the same way as the Hurricane missiles, but once it has left the tube, it's entirely autonomous. When it reaches the end of its path, it will activate its onboard seeker and begin searching for a target. The greatest benefit of active missiles is that they can be sent on complex waypoint paths, allowing for multi-angle strikes and even hits targets behind asteroids. But we'll cover that when you get to your advanced missile trials.
It already sounds freaking.
For now, let's just fire 3 Thunderhead missiles at the target, as we did before with the Hurricanes.
Right. Yeah. Targeting mode unsupported. I guess we need to move our ass.
Course laid in.
Right. Also don't have to, I don't think, this kind of missile. Okay, Thunderhead, right?
Solution locked in.
Okay, it takes a while.
As easy as it is to use active radar missiles, there are some downsides to their operation. The first is that the missile must find a target within the cone of its seeker in order to track and kill it. This makes evasive maneuvers such as course changes an easy way to defeat missiles fired at long range, especially against fast-moving targets.
Okay, so I must find a target with the cone. Evasive maneuvers such as course changes, easy way to defeat active missiles. No, this is just the beginning. I honestly doubt.
Is that active seekers are easy to decoy with chaff and other countermeasures, meaning more missiles need to be used in order to score a hit, as active missile radars are particularly sensitive to jamming and decoys.
This guy's toast.
So that should do it for your weapons trial. I'll have Fleet Logistics retrieve the dummy ship, and I recommend looking into all the weapons when you get your chance. I'll see you at the Academy.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, show some damage stuff. So, damage control, extensive damage control, maintain combat capability even under enemy fire. Yikes. Okay, I'm getting the same damage control. Might seem to be a little below your pay grade, but trust me when I say that it's one of the most important trials you go through, especially when it actually comes to combat.
Alright, ready for something really nerve-wracking? For as long as you're out here in space, it's inevitable that you're going to take a few hits over the course of your career.
Yes.
In reality, the odds of us coming out unscathed of an engagement are exceedingly low. If you want to stay fit and combat effective, you're going to need to learn how to repair damage. Let's begin. To start, select the A and S Small Beginnings. I've had my boys set up some simulated scenarios for us to cover. Just stay cool. You'll start seeing some damage come up.
By the way, I remember the first time I launched this game, it actually launched on my second monitor. But I noticed I have 60 frames. I don't know if it's locked. The game's locked at 60. I mean, it looks like it's locked. I just don't know if I can unlock it. Selected, yes.
For the purpose of this training exercise, I've just simulated damage in 3 of the Small Beginning subsystems. Mount 1, the main radar controller, and the Combat Information Center.
Okay.
In the ship list, you'll notice a number of new icons have appeared.
Yes.
The orange number indicates the number of damaged components with active debuffs, which affects the performance of those damaged components. If there's a fire, it will be indicated here. Obviously, a fire in an enclosed space is a serious threat to ship survival. It'll slowly damage the ship over time, and it'll also slow down the working speed of damage control teams. This red number indicates the components have been damaged to the point where they are no longer functional. This also includes components which have been completely destroyed.
I'm not sure the game's capped at 60. I'll read about that later. It's possible that because my other monitor is 60 Hz, but this one is 144. Well, I don't know. No longer functional. Okay.
The red chevrons indicate the ship's command system are not operational, meaning they are no longer receiving any orders. Open the action menu to see what it looks like. The text at the center of the action menu will display "Not Receiving" when a ship can't receive orders. This is because the CIC, or Combat Information Center, has taken critical damage.
Whoa.
You may have warships with backup command systems that allow maneuvering orders to be carried out while the CIC is disabled. This allows you to get your ship to safety and effect repairs. However, this ship isn't fitted with that.
That's wild.
Going back to the ship's status display, we can see the damaged components and their locations. By clicking on the status display, we can open the damage control board. Do so now.
Fuck.
The damage control board will show all of the components installed on the ship and their current status. You can use the filter buttons at the top to suppress things that you don't want to see.
Are you serious? Am I supposed to do it like mid freaking battle? I can use a filter. Yeah, but drive reactor, locker, and weapons, right?
Your damage control officer will automatically prioritize repairs based on how important a component is. For example, your reactor and CIC are going to be priority 1, as they're critical to the operation of the ship.
True.
If you have your own priorities, you can click on one of the items on the board to prioritize it manually. Prioritized items are highlighted in blue. Keep in mind that changing priorities frequently can cause teams to move around a lot, which wastes valuable time that could be used for repairs. Damage control teams are stationed in a DC locker and will move from there when damage is taken. It'll take time for repairs to start, as the teams need to get themselves and their tools to the casualty. You can see the progress of the damage control teams by the gauge filling up on their token. Hazards like fires are their first priority, before they'll begin repairing actual damage, as these can deal damage over time. The important thing to remember is that once a component has taken damage below 90%, it can never be fully repaired back to 100%. Maximum repair is 10% more than the lowest integrity level the component had at the time of repairs.
Okay.
We'll let your teams work before we continue. Let's do 2 more drills. The first is a component restoration exercise.
Component restoration.
The CIC is now destroyed, with the integrity at 0%. Repair teams won't begin repairs to get it operational again, without you explicitly telling them to do so. You'll need to get it repaired. In the damage control board, find the CIC and use left shift plus left click to order your repair teams to start working on it. Once it's repaired, the ship will be able to receive orders again. This must be done manually, because restoring a component is a time and equipment intensive process. The equipment to do so is stored in the DC locker, and each locker only holds enough materials for 1 or 2 restorations.
Okay.
Although the CIC is disabled and this ship can't receive orders to move or fire, you will always be able to prioritize damage control to attempt repairs. But this means that your repair teams are extremely vulnerable. They're moving into parts of the ship that are actively taking enemy fire and could very well be killed.
On the amount and size of DC lockers on your ship, you have more restores. I see. Yeah, this one says small. This is where the repairing crew is, right?
If all the personnel on a team are killed in action, you'll lose the team completely. If you run out of repair teams, you won't be able to repair at all. You can't replenish teams outside of a port, so keep that in mind. We'll wait for your teams to finish their work, then we'll continue. Now that the CIC is restored, the Small Beginnings is ready to receive orders again. After the teams reboot all of the computers, that is.
Order evacuation. Interesting.
Lastly, we'll do something a little dangerous, a catastrophic scenario. Most component damage is localized, and will only affect the part of the ship where the damage was received. On the other hand, catastrophic scenarios are situations which, left unchecked, will eventually take the whole ship down. These situations include reactor overloads, magazine explosions, and fuel line fires. Just to name a few. Your repair teams will automatically move to prevent catastrophic damage, so there's not much you can do except watch. Just get a feel for
timer. Yeah, I'm sweating already. Whoops.
Your damage control officer will always prioritize repairs for a situation like this. The ship's survival always comes first. Notice the flashing warning icon in the ship's list. Below the icon is an estimated countdown before the situation gets out of control. If you don't know what's wrong, you can hover over the warning icon to see a tooltip.
Reactor overload.
Out of all of the catastrophic damage you might see, reactor overloads are the most deadly. Your teams know how to work with a damaged reactor, but fires and other hazards can make it a nearly impossible task to complete. Should the reactor go critical, you'll see a reactor bloom with a blast radius of about 1.5 kilometers. Standard doctrine states to move all of the friendly warships out of the danger radius of the ship
Oh my god.
reactor overload. Be careful around enemy wrecks as well. Your weapons could have damaged the reactor housings, and you'll get little to no warning before they go off. But Commander, that's it for your damage control trials. Just keep an eye on your teams and be smart about their movements, and you'll come out just fine. Remember, the ship's survival always comes first.
This is the type of tutorial that, like, it's all nice, but when it happens in like a real game, it's just complete chaos. Sensors and electronic warfare. Know thy enemy. Intelligence can win battles before even a shot is fired. I won't waste your time. Electronic war is not simple, and neither is sensors. So many intricate little details when it comes to intelligence and radar. Sure, no problem. I'm taking it slowly, no rush. Blanket jammer.
It's critical for you to understand your sensors and the things that affect them, as they act as your eyes in the battle space. After all, you can't shoot what you can't see.
True.
But now it's time to learn how they actually work. How to evade detection while spotting the enemy, and how to fool your opponent is absolutely paramount to a successful engagement. Let's begin.
It's a message log, which is nice. Oh, there's an active pause.
Select the ANS Small Beginnings.
What can we do for you, Commander?
The first thing we'll talk about is your signature size and methods of signature control.
Signature size, okay.
Active sensors like radar detect enemy ships by bouncing radio waves off of them. The physical size of your ship, combined with the angle of surface and the cross-sectional area from the viewing angle, affect the size of the returned energy. In other words, the same ship will appear on sensors at a longer range if its broadside is facing the enemy versus being bow on. The smallest radar cross-section for the Rain's frigate, for example, is from above and below the port and starboard stern.
I don't know if I understand this sentence.
You can see the size of your signature by hovering over the signature summary on the ship information bar.
Right. This is increased.
There are other contributing factors to the size of your signature, including what modules are active and how many ships are nearby. Right now, there is another ship nearby, which is boosting the size of the radar return and making it so the enemy can see us at a longer range.
See.
Let's lower our footprint. Move the Small Beginnings more than 250 meters away from the Dusty Tome, so you won't contribute to each other's signatures. Don't move towards the enemy. We want to keep our current range.
$250. Let's go 300.
We're on our way.
If you hover over the signature summary with your mouse, you will see the nearby ships modifier is gone, reducing our overall footprint. It's good, but we'll need to do better if we want to hide ourselves from the enemy. On the ship list, the yellow icon indicates that the ship is spotted by the enemy's sensors and is being tracked. Similarly, a red crosshair here would show that the ship is locked by the enemy's fire control radar. We have a good set of tools to reduce our radar footprint even further. Let's see what we can do to shake the enemy off. This switch will toggle our radar systems off, greatly reducing our footprint.
Radar system. Oh.
This switch disables our communication suites, which can provide a modest reduction in our signature size.
Okay, we're going quiet.
Go ahead and turn off both of these now,
Yes.
and see how it affects our signature size.
This
You may
is
be
minimal.
surprised to see that even with your radars off, you are still seeing tracks. This is because the ANS Dusty Tome still has the radars and comms on, and is transmitting tracks to the Small Beginnings, sharing their own data.
Receiving.
I get it.
Hover over Signature Summary with your mouse to see how changing these emission settings altered your signature. If you didn't move too close to the enemy, you'll notice that the yellow icon indicating the ship is being tracked has disappeared. If you're still being tracked, it might be because your hull is at an angle that maximizes radar reflections.
True, might be true. How do I turn?
Even then, a lower signature size reduces the distance at which the enemy can detect you, even if you are well inside their maximum sensor range.
Roll ship. No, I don't think this is what I want.
Affirmative.
Disabling emissions also has the added benefit of making you undetectable by passive sensors. Passive radar sensing is typically able to detect you 125% further away from your maximum radar range, so being invisible to it has an obvious benefit. The downside, of course, is that turning off your radars means you can't detect threats as easily. Similarly, disabling comms means that the ship is no longer transmitting any tracks it sees to friendly ships in the fleet. Ships with their comms off will still be able to receive tracks from other transmitting ships, so they can act as a silent shooter. Go ahead and re-enable both the radar and the communications on the small beginnings. Now it's time to experience what having your sensors jammed feels like.
Hey. Right.
Sensors
Confusing,
are
right?
Interesting, yeah.
The enemy jammer is saturating our radar with radio waves, making it difficult for our systems to find legitimate contacts. This noise of
We're
contacts
growing
is what we are
smarter.
seeing,
Well,
instead of the real radar picture.
not so sure. I wanted to turn like facing this way, but I just rolled to the side instead. Just my brain goes just smoother and smoother.
Notice that we lost track of the ship in front of us, but the one on the right is still clear as day. This is because jamming only affects the area around the direction that is being jammed. Keep this in mind when you're trying to use jamming to protect your own ships.
Interesting.
We do have a tool available that can be used in a pinch, the burn-through sweep. Not all radar modules have this,
Clear
but it allows for
holding.
a short, high-powered sweep in all directions.
Yeah, but what if I want to, turn from facing this direction to this direction? Do I just... Oh. Okay, I get it.
understood.
We have a tool available that can be used in a pinch, burn-through sweep.
To execute the burn-through sweep, open the action menu and select the BRN or burn-through command on the top. Then, as quickly as you can, attempt to lock the target. You can use the X key for the lock-on shortcut.
What? Really?
Understood.
Burn through sweeps will show a unique icon for detected targets, making it easier to spot the target through the noise. The icon will linger for about 30 seconds to give you time to lock on.
Oh.
Locked targets are much less susceptible to being lost through jamming.
Understood.
Hmm. Use a burn through sweep to lock. No beginnings, yes.
Copy that, Commander. Get it done, Commander.
Oh.
Understood. Locking on.
But it said something about like a unique icon.
Affirmative.
Intel.
Initiating target lock.
That's it. Most of the time you'll be able to maintain a fire control lock in spite of jamming. But keep in mind that jamming power stacks, so a fleet with enough jammers active at the same time will break any lock.
But I don't understand it. Like, what is it? Burn through sweep. What is it? No. Like, I did it, but I just don't understand it. Like, I don't know what I actually did. What is a burn through sweep? It means you push your... Oh. So I don't have it... Let's say I don't have it active. They can function better with getting jammed. Oh, I see. I see.
Understood. Locking on.
Because now I can do it just regularly, but I assume if I'm getting jammed, then I can still kind of try to push through.
We'll get it done, Commander.
Okay. Only when you really need to lock. I get it.
Because burn through sweeps use a much higher power output, they also have the added benefit of being able to spot smaller, weaker contacts at a greater range. This is useful for finding small scout ships or approaching missiles. The downside is that the higher power output runs the risk of causing damage to the amplifiers every time you use it, so be careful not to burn out your radars.
Right.
Standing by.
Your other option for burning through jamming is simply to get closer to the enemy, brute forcing your way in. Just try not to get sunk in the process. Jamming the enemy ourselves can be as easy as right-clicking their track and selecting our jammers with the EW weapons menu. However, these targets are far enough apart that they won't both be covered by the cone centered on only one of them.
Aha.
The ANS Dusty Tome is carrying a blanket radar jammer. We'll use that to jam both targets by catching them both in the jammer's cone of effect by targeting a position between both contacts. You can target a weapon on a position in space by opening the action menu by right-clicking in open space instead of on a track, and use the sphere widget to target a position between the two contacts. Remember to use the tactical view as it will give you precise bearings for positional targeting.
Okay.
When in the tactical view, you'll see each track's position projected onto the sphere of the widget. To blind both of them, aim for a point between those two projected positions. Remember that you can change the radius of the widget by holding left control and drawing the radius in or out.
Left control. Got it. You know, like in the tutorial, like only like these are kind of available to click. So I kind of know what to do. But I assume, you know, when you just play, everything is available. And it might get lost. Jammer, and there's something about... Yeah, you see, like, this is freaking confusing. Is this something about control? Pressing control? Oh, there we go. Oh, and there's this line here. That should help me, right? Or not? This is below, this is above.
Jammer engaged.
Just roughly.
Center.
And like that, they can't see us anymore, just like what happened to us. But they can also use the same tactics like burn-throughs or approaching us to sift through the jamming.
Ah, I see. That's a useful effect.
While jamming power is additive, it is not linear. The more jamming signals that are present in an area, the more they begin to create destructive interference and cancel each other out. Think of it like diminishing returns.
Right.
Even if you don't successfully jam the enemy's tracking of your ships, an active jamming signal will still reduce their sensor accuracy. This is particularly devastating for point defenses, which are shooting at very small, very fast targets, and therefore require great accuracy.
I typically only right-click and jam. Right-click and jam. Yeah, but then how but how do you jam a specific area if you know where the enemy is? Right click, oh, I see. I get it. But in just in this scenario, you have two targets. So just aimed in the middle. Grab both. Oh, no, I think it just finished. Right click, tag and jam them.
Using standoff jamming in coordination with your missile salvos will make them devastatingly effective. Let's try it.
Well,
Fire off the missile salvo at the enemy ship ahead, and see how their defenses react with your jammer active.
okay. Let's do it again. In this case, using a jam on a specific enemy would not be able to... When I fire, I would try to do that kind of manual jamming. I wouldn't.
Watch how erratically the enemy defenses are firing. Point defense requires pinpoint precision, which your jamming is preventing by flooding their sensors with far too many false contacts.
Launch confirmed.
When using jamming to cover a missile attack, you'll still need to watch out for airburst point defenses like flak guns, as they don't require much accuracy. Most importantly, the blanket jammer has a 90-second firing time. This is to prevent the amplifiers from overheating and being damaged.
Yeah, 90-second. Okay. Control. Oh, I forgot about it.
However, there are times where you absolutely have to be able to use the system, or you'll lose the ship. In that case, you might not care whether the module destroys itself.
Hmm. Oh, they're shooting at it. Oh, shit.
This is what Battle Short is for. Select the ANS Dusty Tome if it isn't already.
Receiving.
This is the toggle for the Battle Short mode. When this is on, all equipment safeties are disabled, and the equipment will continue to run until it destroys itself. Reserve it for emergency use. You'll hear an endless litany of profanity from the damage control officer.
Overrides equipment safeties. Ah, I see. It can help you understand and position the 3D space.
When Battle Short is enabled, active components with active duration timers will periodically be damaged. However, they will only begin taking damage when they exceed their normal firing time. One last thing to note is that most electronic warfare modules are single-cycle systems. That means they won't repeatedly fire on the same target after their cooldown period, and you'll need to designate a new target every time the system comes off cooldown. Jamming is an extremely powerful tactic when used at the right time. Use it to cover your retreat, confuse enemy fire, cover your missiles, and anything else you can think of.
Well, let's see. So they're jammed.
Target confirmed. Missile away.
Refer multiple. So I choose the missile, then I press. Oh, there we go.
Missile away.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
With that out of the way, that should do it for sensors and E-War. I hope I made it easy to follow, because the guidebooks on these are nightmarish. I'll see you back at the academy.
Come on, woman. Let me finish this. But the other one is shooting too. Wow. Programming. Engagement failed.
Send traffic. Aye, jamming.
Oh, come on. Advanced maneuvering. I think maneuvering is what I'm not good at. Let's see. This merge just ordering a ship where to position itself. Rolling, establishing orbits, and strafing. Yeah, strafing. I need to learn that. You wrap up your movement trials with a quick rundown of other maneuvers taken straight from the handbook. Let's just go. Okay.
Space is vast, Commander.
Yes.
There's usually no cover, and if you're lucky, you can see a threat coming kilometers away. Knowing how to move your ship is one thing, but knowing the right maneuver will make sure you come out on top.
Okay.
You can definitely make it out of a fight in one piece without using advanced maneuvers, but you'll see quite a good drop in repairs if you employ them correctly. Before we get started, let's order the Dusty Tome to enter formation with the small beginnings, so we can see how these commands affect other ships in the formation when issued to the guide ship.
Which one was it? Form. Then let's put him. Well, 200 is pretty good, but let's go just so
Now let's try our first new command. Select the ANS Dusty Tome and open the action menu.
Okay.
All of the commands we'll learn about in this lesson can be found under the Move submenu.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The ALD, or Assume Lead command, will cause the formation that this ship is in to restructure itself with the selected ship as the new guide ship. Issue this order now.
Aye, aye. Forming up.
Oh, nice.
It's not uncommon for the guide of the formation to come under fire first, as it's usually the most important ship, making it a prime target. Should it become disabled, its escorts will hold position around it.
Ah, right.
Sometimes you want them to hold the line, but there's other times that you need to sacrifice that disabled ship to save the others.
Okay.
When you have a large formation, the Assume Lead command will save you precious time reorganizing the formation around a new ship that can lead the survivors to safety. It's a lifesaver, literally.
I have never done any of this. I also play with 1 or 2 ships. Well, let me think. I used to play Dota. And I used to play, I don't know if you know Dota. Because usually you control just one character in Dota. But there is a character called Meepo. And he like kind of multiplies and you control multiple characters at the same time. I used to play it, I used to like it. So maybe... I mean, that's ancient history now. Because I quit like over 10 years ago. But it's interesting, you say you actually don't do any of this.
Since the Dusty Tome is the guide now, let's keep it selected and start covering the rest of the orders. Open the Action menu and the Move submenu.
The more ships you have, the bigger the formation. Yeah, the micromanaging. Action menu and move.
We'll first cover the ORB, or Orbit command. This command is
see.
useful for keeping your ships moving continuously around a target without having to make hard direction changes constantly. Select it now, but don't issue the order yet.
But the thing is that, you know, if you do multiplayer, I would assume that everyone has the same kind of problems or, you know, obstacles to overcome. So it's possible that actually maybe a lot of people don't do this. Or maybe like the top players exploit it. Movement and orbits, right?
This is a two-stage command, just like the formations.
Mhm.
The first task is to select the orbit anchor, or the position the ships will travel around. Let's set our anchor near the enemy target. Once you have selected the orbit anchor, we'll determine the radius and the angle of the orbit. Notice that when you change the angle of the sphere widget, a dotted line now appears. The dotted line denotes the actual path that the ships will follow. The arrow near your cursor denotes the direction that they will follow along the path. This is determined by the side of the sphere your cursor is on relative to your ship. Go ahead and issue the order now. Make sure there are no obstacles in the path. The circle will turn red if the ship might hit something in its orbit.
1 kilometer of the target. You understand this correctly? Oh, no. I get it now. I'm not doing a lot of these things. One ship. I was useless at all. I see. I see. I mean, that's good, I think. I think that gives me some so I click. But it says, oh, I see. Warning collision. So we have to do it like this.
If you want, you can open fire on the target
Okay,
you're orbiting.
there's
to see
a
how your guys
chance.
behave.
There's a chance for me to maybe can I manage this? You know what I mean? We'll fly to the enemy target in orbit. Yeah. So I choose the center and then I choose the orbit.
functionality of the orbit command is that it keeps your ships moving while keeping a side facing the target on the inside, allowing most weapons a good angle at the target.
Damn, you're super hungry today.
If you just drive a course, you'll eventually have to turn your ships around, or you'll lose the target behind an obstacle, or just slowly start to mask certain weapons as the angle increases. This will cost you valuable time while the turrets swing around. Orbits help prevent this. The downside, of course, is that your ships will be exposing the same armor to the enemy constantly, allowing them to whittle it down before they lay in heavy munitions.
Oh, that's...
They'll also be presenting a good angle for radar returns, meaning you might be an easier target.
That's very true.
You can orbit this target as long as you like, and play with the weapons. When you're ready, issue a drive course order to get our ships heading off into open space, so we can try the remaining commands.
Okay, so I could actually, let's see.
Standing by. Waiting for your orders, Commander. We're ready whenever you are.
How do I
Ready
choose?
whenever you are. Waiting orders.
How do I choose
Receive.
both of them?
Waiting for your orders, Commander. Waiting for your orders, Commander. They won't know what hit them. Standing by. Copy. Engaging the enemy.
Sounds like a freaking submarine. Shaky divide. Oof. Actually, I wonder,
Waiting orders.
can I... Is it possible to focus on like a specific part? Because they're kind of shooting, you know, just shooting. But if I, let's say, I want to destroy this, is it possible to give that type of order? Like I want to focus on the missile launcher. No, okay. And oh, another thing, how do I, because I forgot, how do I choose both of them?
Waiting for your orders, Commander.
Can I, like, you know, choose both and just make one attack order?
Waiting orders.
Super close to the rock here. Pretty cool though. You can hold down control.
Waiting for your orders, Commander.
I mean,
Receiving.
no, that's what I'm doing.
Standing by. Receiving. Receiving. Waiting for your orders, Commander. Waiting orders. Waiting orders. Waiting orders. Waiting for your orders, Commander. We're ready whenever you are.
And this is ship orders. The ship's true. POV camera.
Waiting orders.
Oh, this is what I want.
Waiting for your orders, Commander.
I mean, I can't see anything because I'm on the orbit, but that's what I like. Cinematic experience.
We're ready whenever you are.
Kind of funny.
Receiving.
Okay, issue a drive course order.
We're ready whenever you are.
The CRS. Okay, where are we going?
Moving.
Alright, 2 more commands to cover. Both are very situational, but you'll be glad you've got them in your tool belt. Better to have it than not have it at all.
2 more commands. Is the drive course like used often? Because this is just moving in a general direction, I assume.
We're ready whenever you are. Standing by. Waiting orders.
Yeah. Yeah, you just choose just where to go. And this.
Open the action menu to the Move submenu and locate the HDG or heading command. The
HDG.
distance you draw the sphere widget out to doesn't matter here, as we're picking a direction.
Oh, this is the thing.
Select a direction that is different from the course the formation is currently driving.
Roger that.
Maybe this
Notice
is
how
what
the
I...
entire formation is turning to face that direction, but continue to move along in its ordered course. A modified movement order like this is indicated with a blue box around the movement status icon.
Wait. Oh. I get it. Moving while under fire is important. Well, this is very important, I think. I think this is very important. But it will allow you to face potential enemy with a side that you want, not exposing just one side all the time or stuff like that.
Normally your ships will turn into any course they are following, as this allows them to use their main engines and provides the best acceleration.
Is this one? Yeah. I can choose like behind, right? Yeah, so I'm flying this direction when I'm gonna be facing the other. It should be slower, right? Or not? Maybe it's space. Maybe it doesn't work like that in space.
However, When withdrawing under fire, this can expose the main engines, and especially the drive module in the reactor, directly to enemy fire.
Oh.
The heading order is useful to keeping the bow pointed towards the enemy, protecting your most vital components during retreat.
Ah, right. M to order a move position. Control to change the height. Ah, I see. I see. And then bam, 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 bam. Potentially here.
To cancel a hold heading, as well as the next command we'll talk about, use the CLR or clear command under the move submenu. Clear the heading hold now. The last command we'll cover is the ROL or roll command. We'll do this for the ANS small beginnings this time. Select the ship and select the order now.
Ready whenever you are.
The roll command will allow you to select a new direction for the ship to use as its up direction.
Shift to
Move
move
the mouse
around.
around the widget and click the left mouse button to select a new up direction. Ordering a ship to roll may seem trivial, but like I've said, your radar panels may get taken out by enemy fire. If this is a scout or a spotting ship and it needs to provide targeting data right now, rolling the ship over to expose the functioning panels may be necessary.
Huh.
Also notice that the small beginnings rolled independently of the guide ship, but is
Yeah.
still keeping formation.
Sure.
Roll order can also be cancelled with the clear command.
Okay.
And that's it. It may seem simple, but if you use any of these little tricks right, you'll start seeing a difference. I'll see you at the academy.
Okay. Okay, just 3 more. Advanced Missile Tactics. The most valuable and limited resource on board ships. Knowing how to use the various missile modes. Most of all, the strategies. Advanced Missile Operation. I'm getting 3 ships now. Spotlight Illuminator. And 3 launchers. But the same class, the same type of ship. Let's see.
Out here in the cold void, missiles are like diamonds. They're valuable and scarce, and you won't be able to refill your cells under most circumstances. Unless you want to wind up with empty launchers while your enemy is fully stocked, you'll need to learn how and when to use them. You can always come back here to practice with missiles, but I can also give you a rundown of what you can throw downrange. You want to take the reins and practice, or would you like me to guide you through it? I've got plenty of time.
What do I want? You know what? Let's guide. Yeah, guide me.
Sounds good. Let's get you familiar with advanced missile operations.
Yes.
The enemy ships in this scenario won't shoot back at your ships, but they are all equipped with different types of point defenses, so it won't be as
Okay.
easy to hit them as last time. There are 5 enemy ships in the battle space, but we can only see 3 of them right now.
True.
I've disabled your drives for this, as you'll get the most training out of your current position. No cheating and all that.
Okay.
We'll start by firing 2 command-guided missiles, the Hurricanes, from the ANS small beginnings at the group of 2 ships directly ahead of us.
Command guided missiles. Hurricanes.
This is the same as during the weapons trial, except now we're going to test the target's defensive capabilities. As a side note, you can track all missiles with your camera by selecting them, or just hover over them with your mouse and hitting the F key.
Yeah.
Don't worry if the missiles get shot down on their way in. Targets have their point defenses on the ventral side of the ships, and since we're below the targets, we're at a disadvantage. We could ascend and take the elevated position on the targets, but trust me when I say that they can roll their ships to cover the angle much faster than we can get into a more advantageous position.
Yeah, that's probably
You may
true.
recall from the weapons trial that I mentioned you can plot complex paths for certain missiles to follow. We're going to work up some clever missile strikes.
I see. So this is the tutorial.
The easiest way to lay in missile paths is in the tactical view. Toggle it with the spacebar and keep it up. We'll need the extra space. In the weapons trial, we were always using track mode, and in one case visual mode, to target our weapons. Some weapons, and especially missiles, also have a position mode that lets us directly choose points in space to shoot at. Because the Hurricane missiles rely on a constant sensor track from their launching ship, they can't be shot at positions. So let's switch over to the Dusty Tome, which is carrying Thunderheads. To target the weapons in position mode, open the action menu by right-clicking in open space. Don't right-click on a track, as this will put the weapons in track mode. Open the weapons list by clicking the Weps or Weapons button on the right side of the action menu. From the list, select the SGM-206 Thunderhead, but don't confirm a launch order just yet. You'll recognize the sphere widget from when we used it briefly in some of the previous trials, but we're going to get a lot of mileage out of it now. There are a few things to notice. The first is the red cone at the cursor location. This represents the missile's seeker field of view. When the missile reaches its last waypoint, its seeker will activate, and any target in that cone will be locked on by the missile. It's important to remember that the missile seeker and warhead are inactive until it reaches the last waypoint. Because of this, it's important to leave space between where you place the last waypoint and the intended target. A good buffer will allow the missile to correct its course and establish a good path to intercept the target. The next thing you'll notice is the dotted lines and the circles projected onto the surface of the sphere. These are present because we're currently holding several enemy tracks on our sensors. It's very easy to get fooled by perspective in 3D space. These tracks are projected onto the sphere, so you have a good point of reference for the direction the track's relative to your cursor. The most effective way to aim at your target correctly is to look at its projection on the sphere, not the target itself.
Projection.
Before we get to the complicated stuff, just try firing a single missile at the group of two ships by positioning the cursor inside one of their projected circles and clicking the left mouse button.
Wait, is something... Oh, there we go. Wait, what the fuck is going on?
Missile tube clear.
Okay, I think, good?
Unless you're extremely lucky, this missile will likely be shot down on its way in. Point
Yeah.
defenses are no joke. Now let's use cruise missiles to their full advantage by laying a path that attacks these ships from the top, where they have no point defense coverage.
Okay.
Start up another missile order, and I'll walk you through creating a path and taking multiple shots in the same order. We're going to arrange a top-down attack using Thunderhead missiles. Remember to be in the tactical view to get the most information and see the projected lines. In order to help you out for this one, I'll place markers for the waypoints we'll use. Place waypoints just how you would with ships.
Yeah.
Position the cursor in the vicinity of waypoint 1, and hold the left shift key while clicking the left mouse button to add the waypoint. Don't worry about being exact. Anywhere in the vicinity will work.
So,
Now do the same for waypoint 2. If you find it helpful, you can lay in your own path to reach the elevation we need to land a good hit.
Missile on the way.
you forgot to shoot. Wait, what? Oh, I thought the tutorial just wants me to reach the. I thought I just needed to click on the waypoints. I guess we are just going to space.
Standing by.
Okay. So what am I supposed to do? Fire 4 missiles? Oh, I get it. Okay. Let's do it again. I think I know what's up. Dude, I'm looking up from but I feel like I'm almost targeting like this. Like
Now comes the
this.
tricky part. We want to fire 4 missiles down on top of these ships. In order
Okay,
to do
thank
so,
you.
position the target circle so it's facing the targets. Then, hold left control to draw the radius out until it's about halfway between your last waypoint and the target.
Now
Remember
the
to give some relief space between the selected position and the target, so the seeker has time to activate. Take your time, and remember to reference your cursor against the projected circles, not the tracks themselves. When you're ready to start placing shots, hold the left Alt key and click the left mouse button. 1 missile will be fired per click when the order is finally issued. I recommend spreading the shots out in a cone a few degrees across, so the salvo has better odds of finding the target. An added benefit of this is that when missiles acquire a target, they'll curve back in on a trajectory that naturally confuses any point defenses they may encounter. To issue the order, either click the left mouse button with the left Alt key released, or press the Enter key if you have queued up exactly the number of missiles you want. We'll wait till you score a hit on one of these 2 ships before proceeding.
let's see, am I doing this correctly?
Launching missiles.
This is awesome, to be honest, but it takes time, and you kind of have to know what you're doing, like. And now they yeah. Okay, these 2 missed.
Don't worry if you don't get any hits, just try again. It's not like these things are expensive.
Okay, so this
Now we're
one
talking.
was a miss, but this one both hit. Attacking shipping from top and bottom. Be able to quickly put an accurate movement. Yeah, I can imagine.
It also has the added benefit of increasing the surface area of the vital internal components which are exposed to your fire, meaning more damage is more likely to be done once the missile connects.
Just a matter of getting used. Yeah, this is definitely something to get used to, but I believe can be mastered.
I'll be honest, Commander. I made you do this one the hard way so you could get some practice with the sphere widget on a target you could see.
Right.
You can also accomplish the same thing using target reference points, which you can find under the signal menu as the TRP button.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
We won't do it now, but feel free to practice on your own later. It'll allow you to create a single waypoint for some missiles to travel via when firing on a track, but keep in mind that not all missiles support this. Let's move on to another type of missile.
Right.
ANS Fatal Spell is carrying a few SGM-233 Gale semi-active guided missiles. Semi-active missiles have a passive seeker and require
What just happened?
to home in on a target. Think of this like a radar flashlight.
What just happened? Or the ship that I... Oh my god. The ship that I... The two missiles that hit. Wow.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
That caught me off guard. I thought it was a part of the tutorial. What's going on here? And then it's just semi-active guided missiles, passive seeker, illuminator, radar flashlight.
Illuminating signal can be provided by any ship, not just the ship that launched the missile. But that signal must be painted on a target for a missile to home in on it. Without it, the missile is just an expensive dud. The benefit of semi-active missiles is that they are significantly harder to jam or decoy, because a ship can output much more energy than a missile can.
I see.
Illuminators can be found in the action menu under the EW weapon list on the right-hand side.
Okay. Illuminators.
Illuminate a target.
It's under electronic warfare.
Jammer on.
Your illuminator has a 90-second firing time before it turns off so the amplifiers can cool down. You can see its cone of effect in the tactical view. Before it cools down, fire 4 Gale missiles at the target you have illuminated.
Which one is it? Gale, right?
Missile
Oh,
missile away.
did I do it correctly? This This is quite strange. Quite strange type of rocket, I feel. Well, I have to do it again.
Remember, if the illumination signal turns off before the missiles arrive, they will lose tracking and probably miss their target. They'll continue in their current direction, so stationary targets may be struck, but at this point, it's just luck.
You've been very good at designing or using missiles. I mean, it looks really, really good. But just this type of missile, kind of, I'm just thinking about it.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
Illuminators also require a direct line of sight to their target.
Yeah.
Ships obscured by asteroids won't be painted. Now let's get some more practice with using waypoint paths. There are 2 more enemy ships hiding in the radar shadows of the nearby asteroids, meaning we can't see them with our own ships. Another benefit of cruise missiles and their ability to follow past is that you can shoot at targets you suspect to be in the area, but may not fully track them. This is good for hitting ships that have retreated behind an asteroid or other obstacle hiding from our sensors. Use the thunderheads on any of the ships to hit the target hiding near the point I've indicated.
Send traffic.
Yeah, let's do it. See, how can we do this? Should probably do it from the top. Question is, what do I want to do? Like this, maybe. I mean, maybe it's just. No, I mean, there's no way.
Missile away.
This is pretty sharp angle. I don't know if I was worrying about the angle. I don't know if. Wait. Oh, it's on the way. Oh, but this guy will. Okay, I need to fire.
Remember to use the tactical view to give yourself the best perspective
No.
and lay in your path so the missiles will
I know what to do.
before reaching the target. They'll need time and space to identify a
I
target.
know what to do. You might need to shoot. Yeah. You can go like this.
Missile away.
Oh. Got the press. was like this, right? Shift. Oh, I went a bit overboard. Is this correct? I don't remember how many I can. Yeah, although you might want. So the cone is between. Oh, right. I know what you mean.
Missile away.
Not sure if this is correct. Let's see.
Ready.
You have 4 channels, right? Okay. So let's see if I understand this correctly. So away from those ships. Alt Shift. Now I'm going here.
While hiding behind asteroids can help you remain hidden from the enemy, it also gives the attacker an advantage. Cover can be a
Okay.
double-edged sword at the worst of times.
Still one more. Probably should go from the top then.
By hugging the asteroid closely with your missile's flight paths, you can give the point defenses less time to react
Yeah.
before they detect the threats.
Yeah,
That means
yeah.
less distance the missiles have to travel through defensive fire.
Ready.
Okay, we can do it, Reddit. Yes. So I'm gonna I think this is okay. Because here I am in direct kind of visual range.
Missile
Ah.
away.
I forgot to press shift. I have to do this shit all over again. We good. Everything is fine. Yeah, I can't see the... Oh, there we go. Looks like this is pretty good because he's still hidden. I just misclicked with the shift. Yeah. So this is good. But this is taking forever. Like, it's hard to imagine doing this in multiplayer. This is collision. Stay far away from... Oh, your enemies are on the... And then we bam. Okay, we have time, we can think about it. This is correct. 4 weapons.
Launching missiles.
Let's see. Okay, boys, this is it. So we are hidden right now. I should start going down. And then there is... Oh, I see. Oh crap. Oh. He missed. Dude. Oh, there's... It's coming back. Come on, you can do it. I think we've fucked it up. Should I go from a different angle?
Awaiting orders, Commander.
I wish this guy wasn't here to shoot me down because I have to go like this. I can move my... What? I can move my ships? It's crazy. I mean, anyone, you know, anyone can move a ship. How about we go from actually the top? Yeah, exactly. This is, let's go like this. This is collision. This is gonna be super close to the sun. So the guy's here. And we're going to this.
Missile away.
This will work 100%.
We hear you, Command.
This is it. I almost hit my own shit there. Is there actually a friendly fire in this game? Are we going sneaky? Is this how I... Okay, never mind. I'm a little exposed here. Should be good. Oops. Okay, we're here. And freaking ninja attack from the top. Already one destroyed. There we go.
There's one more ship hiding up near Point Boxer, above the large asteroid. For this one, I'll hide the marker after a few seconds, so get a good feel for where it is. This will be your hardest shot yet, so make me proud.
Wait, what? 2 hits, but... How do I go up? How can I go like up with the camera? Maybe, yeah. Oh, E? No, it was E and C. I remember now. Thank you. So this one, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
I'm gonna freaking destroy this guy.
Yes, Commander.
I can move actually.
Center traffic.
The movement is locked. That's too also good to remember. Yeah. Okay.
We hear you, Command.
So
Firing solution.
can I actually do it?
Awaiting orders, Commander. They're gonna learn today. Send your traffic. Missiles away. Missile away. Missile on the way.
I wonder if I can destroy him. Well. In the meantime,
Send your traffic. Ready.
he's here somewhere. Let's see. I don't know if this is good. How can I actually revert? There we go. It's shooting its point defense, so it's I see. I'd like to go like this way, but I'm a little afraid this guy is gonna be annoying. Or maybe we can do like this. We'll go ham. That's very, very you need to be really close to the rock. Yeah, I noticed. But I'll attack from the top and see how it goes. If not, then we can think of some other angle.
Missile on the way.
This was this one, right?
Low missile warning.
I'll hide a marker after a few seconds. Well, let's see. Wow, it's getting damn. And it has one defense on the oh, it has even... I see. Is this a gun? I think it is. But either way, I think it's better to attack from the bottom. So one way to be this way, or if not, like this angle. Like here, around, and then so here, like this.
Send your traffic.
How long do the battles like last? Do you have like a really long battles? Eight-player. I thought it's like one-on-one. 40 minutes. Oh my god. Jesus. I don't know, this looked... Does that mean I'm already kind of visible? Are you serious?
Launching missiles. We hear you, Command. Ready.
Who salvos from... Oh, really? So this is pretty good. Already being shot at. 2. Wow. Yeah, you might be right. But how do I actually do it? Oh, come on. Yeah. I hope it counts. Wait. It did it.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
I did it, right? And didn't count?
Excellent work, Commander.
Oh, there we go. No, because I tested it before. Like, I could actually finish before hitting continue, but it would take a while. But this took like a longer while. But I managed to do it with one ship, but 2 salvos. But I attacked from below, and I was hugging the asteroid wall. But this took freaking long time.
That does it for your advanced missile ops. You can come back whenever you feel you need practice. Obviously, I can go through all of this again, but I think you have it under control.
Oh my god, I'm sweating
I do
here.
recommend practicing the missile paths. When you lay these in accurately and quickly in the midst of battle, you'll be a serious threat in the battle space. I'll see you back at the academy.
What time is it? Oh my gosh. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. 2 more. It's getting a little late though. I don't know if I can finish this. Missile waypoints in the heat of battle. You remember these? These are like long tutorials, these last 2. Anti-ship missile defense. Okay, I got a some interesting looking launcher. Different class of ship. Get in front of the interface, you have something called a target reference point. Okay, let's do it.
Alright, Commander. After that last lesson, I'm sure you're hoping that there is an easier way. Well, the good news is that there is.
Oh,
Today I'm going to teach you how to use the Target Reference Points, or TRPs, to expedite the plotting of single waypoint missile trajectories. This should be a pretty quick one. There is one target ship sitting behind the large asteroid over to port, which we can't see currently because it's in the radar shadow. Fortunately, we have a scout corvette with us, the ANS Eye of Aster. Scout ships are fast, stealthy, and have long radar range, which makes them ideal for spotting targets. This allows us to keep our shooters concealed, or at least at a much further range than they otherwise would be, and thus safer while they fire on the enemy. You may have noticed that many of your weapons ranges are longer than your sensor ranges, making scout ships absolutely critical for maximizing the utility of your weapons. For the sake of this lesson, we'll leave the ANS Dusty Tome where it is. Let's start by getting our scout into position, so it can spot the enemy and relay targeting data to our shooter. Move the ANS Eye of Aster over the Point Atlas so it can get a track on this target ship.
Moving.
Oh, I mean, this could. Yeah.
Now that we have track on our enemy, we can start sending up our shot. A target reference point is a type of signal which are visible to everyone on your team. There are lots of different signals which can be used to indicate positions to the other commanders on your team. A TRP is a special type which can be used in conjunction with missile orders.
Target reference point.
By placing a TRP, we can use it to create a dogleg or kink in our missile's flight path when firing in track mode. Because of this, you can only use this method when you actually have a censored track on the enemy. Plotting waypoints by position is still the only way to arrange an attack on a suspected enemy location. Go into the tactical view by hitting spacebar, and let's take a look at the geometry of this situation. We have two friendly ships in the battle space, one relaying targeting data to the other, and one enemy ship occluded from our shooter by a large asteroid. This is a situation you'll probably find yourself in frequently. In order to make the attack on the ship without exposing the Dusty Tome, we'll need to pick a location for our TRP, which creates two unobstructed lines. The first line is between the Dusty Tome and the TRP, and the second line is between the TRP and the target. This forms a triangle, with one leg being between the shooter and the target, and the other legs forming the flight path the missile will actually take. Open the action menu by right-clicking in space. You will need to have a ship selected for this. At the bottom of the menu, you'll see the Signal tab. Under the Signal menu, you'll find the Target Reference Point button, labeled as TRP. Click it to start issuing the order. This is your standard dial position selection widget. Use it to select a point to place the TRP that creates the two unobstructed lines I mentioned earlier. One from the Dusty Tome to the TRP, and one from the TRP to the target.
Right. So that means like here?
If you didn't get a great placement, don't worry about it. You can just place another. All signals stay active for 2.5 minutes before disappearing automatically. When you're ready to continue, select the ANS Dusty Tome and open the action menu in track mode on the target ship.
Action menu and what? Open the action menu in track mode.
Send traffic.
Alright, time to select our missile and arrange the salvo. Open the WEP menu.
Yes.
The Dusty Tome is carrying the Thunderhead Active Radar Homing Missile and the Hurricane Command Guided Missile. Note that under their names, information about the missile is listed, including their guidance computer type. The Thunderhead has a cruise guidance module, meaning it is waypoint capable. A Hurricane is a direct guidance system, meaning it is not, and we can't use it for this strike. Select the SGM-206 Thunderhead missile. Queuing up missile shots is the same as we've done before, but now we have an extra input to add. By holding the left control key and clicking the left mouse button, we can designate the TRP we want to use. We can only designate one. Clicking the same TRP twice will clear the selected point. This can be done at any time while queuing missiles. Notice the yellow line from the firing ship to the TRP, indicating it is selected as a via point. Select the TRP you placed at the via point, and then fire at least 4 missiles at the target. I'll wait until you
The
hit it.
TRP. Oh, I see. Or do I? Wait. Oh.
Send traffic.
And what now? Oh, disappeared.
Mission locked in.
Oh, there we go. Hope this counts. Because the point can disappeared, but I think we're good.
Great job! Target reference points are a great tool for arranging quick strikes around obstacles on a target you have a valid sensor track on. That covers it for this lesson. I'll see you back at the academy.
Okay. Lesson 8, Anti-Ship Missile Defense. Defensive Missile Trial. Simply put, the result of Southern Naval. Okay. Heavy cruiser on one ship, but armored to the teeth.
Alright, Commander. Now it's time to turn the tables. We've been on the giving end for all of these lessons so far, but if you don't know how to defend your fleet, you might as well not be in command. Defending against anti-ship missiles is a complex topic, and I can't possibly cover everything in the course of this lesson. But at the very least, I'll get you started. I've placed 3 markers for the course we'll travel along for this to work best. Go ahead and set waypoint course from Atlas, where we are now, to Boxer and Comet. If you reach the end at any point, just plot a new path in the reverse order.
Wait, what? Place 3 markers, travel along. From Atlas, Boxer and Comet.
I've also disabled your offensive weapons, so you don't accidentally, or on purpose, destroy the shooter or spotter ships I'll be controlling, as well as a few other systems that we'll unlock as we go over them. And don't worry, everything I'm going to fire at you are inert training missiles, with no warhead. Let's begin. It might seem ridiculous to say, but a lot of people don't consider that the best way to defend against missiles is to simply not be where the enemy has fired them at. The ship I'll be firing from is about 17 kilometers away. With the speeds these missiles travel at, it'll take them about 75 seconds to reach their acquisition range. When a missile is fired at a track, the target's last known position and velocity are programmed into the missile immediately before launch, so it can figure out how to leave the target. The good news is that 75 seconds is a lot of time for us to not be where the missile thinks we're going to be when it starts its search.
Send traffic.
When we talk about ASMD, we group defensive measures into two categories: soft kill and hard kill. We'll talk about soft kill first, as it pairs very well with the evasive maneuvers we'll do for this
I
first
see.
salvo. The rightmost set of buttons on the ship information bar controls your point defense doctrine.
Decoys.
The decoy button controls when the point defense controller will automatically fire decoys. If you set it to
Okay.
manual, you will need to fire the decoys yourself via the action menu. It's best to leave this one on one of the other three options. The least option will use the decoy with the lowest capability necessary to defeat the threat. Best will always use the highest capability. Auto will fire all necessary decoys. The type of decoy necessary for the threat can only be determined if we have sufficient intelligence on the missile, which can be developed rapidly by the ES-32 Scryer module, which this ship is carrying. If we don't have this information, one of every type of our onboard decoys will be fired. The decoys we have available on the ship are the EA-12 chaff decoy and the EA-99 Conure active decoy. Chaff decoys are an expanding cloud of reflective metal strips, which create a much larger radar return than the ship that launched them. This presents a more appealing target to the missile and will hopefully draw it off, a tactic called seduction. Active decoys radiate their own energy and can mimic the signature of the launching ship, making them useful against more advanced missiles, which are also looking for the ship's radar emissions. Now, we're going to use evasive maneuvers in conjunction with these decoys to totally avoid the first salvo. In fact, I'm so confident you'll be able to do it that I've totally disabled all our other point defenses. I'm going to launch the first salvo now. When you detect the missiles, change course at least 90 degrees, but preferably more like 120 degrees, away from your current direction of travel.
Wait, really?
Don't do it preemptively, or the missiles will adjust their lead based on your new velocity vector. Wait until you detect them on radar. Alright, the first salvo is on its way. After you issue the order to change course, raise the throttle to flank speed to get that extra emergency thruster power. As your course change begins to take effect, dump a chaff decoy, or 3, with Shift Z to give the missile something to focus on while we make our escape. Manually firing decoys will fire one of each available passive decoy type. Active decoys will not be fired as they require a target to know how to fly away from the ship. If you want to fire an active decoy, right-click on one of the missile tracks and use the DCY button at the top of the action menu. The button will be highlighted in yellow to show you it will be for a specific threat rather than a generic decoy.
Oh, they're coming.
Aye, aye. Proceeding.
What am I supposed to do? Not yet, I think.
Solution
Let's see if
locked
this
in.
works. The beeping. Got hit. I'm not sure if I
Nicely done, Commander. Go ahead and get us back on course for either Point Atlas or Comet, and we'll continue. Don't forget
Oh,
to
she
come
said
back
to
down flank speed.
do the speed, increase the speed, but I don't know how to do it. Throttle. Oh, flank. Yeah. Okay.
Aye, aye. Proceeding.
Yeah. That's okay. I should have done it when I was...
Evasive maneuvers can do a lot
Evade.
for you when it comes to
Evading.
avoiding missiles fired at long range. If you do them right, you won't even need to fire in defense.
Prolonged use of flying speed will cause damage.
But unfortunately, some more advanced missiles could follow your course changes, like the next salvo I've just launched.
Send traffic.
I
While
mean,
we
VR
wait,
can also
this
be
is a
put
great
on
time to talk
evade.
about hard kill. Many missile threats simply can't be
Ooh.
avoided by evasive maneuvers. The missiles that are on their way now have a command mid-course guidance configuration, so they will follow any course changes we make. For this, we'll need to rely on a combination of soft and hard kill techniques.
Uh-oh.
You can change course if you want, and watch them follow us.
Ah, fuck it.
Deploying chaff is always a good idea. It's cheap and plentiful, and it may save your life. But it
Chaff.
usually won't draw every missile away, so we'll need to deal with the remaining missiles somehow. The simplest of the hard kill methods is point defense turrets. This ship is equipped with 3 Mark 20 Defender 20mm autocannons and 2 Mark 90 Aurora laser turrets. All of these weapons have their own integrated fire control systems, so once they have been cued to an area by the ship's radar, they can lock their own targets and develop their own firing solution. If you want to take a more hands-on approach, you can manually prioritize targets with the Z key or by using the PD button on the action menu. Generally, this isn't necessary, as the PD controller automatically prioritizes threats by size, distance, speed, and whether they're actually coming towards the ship or not. The ship will always defend itself before defending others.
Solution locked in.
Relaunched. Ooh. Oh, there we go.
Great job! Now get us back on course again.
I am on course.
Send traffic.
Alright, we have one more type of hard kill to consider. Interceptor missiles. These are missiles specifically designed to intercept and destroy incoming missiles. They are the most flexible form of PD, but also the most limited in quantity. This ship is carrying 40 SGM-112 Ripostes, a command-guided interceptor missile. Let's go through the options available by clicking the PD missile button and expanding the menu. The first option is the firing mode. By default, this is set to Doctrine, meaning that all missiles will be fired at all threats that it was designed for. By flipping it over to All, we can disregard those settings and the missile will be used against all threats. On the other hand, Manual will only fire at targets you have prioritized. Next is Firing Policy, which governs the number of salvos we'll fire at each threat. The next salvo will only be fired after the previous one misses. Following that is Salvo Size, which determines the number of missiles in each of the salvos from above. Setting this to Doctrine will refer to the missile type's default setting, usually 1 missile. And finally, last salvo will fire another salvo at the threat at the last possible moment, even if the previous salvos have not arrived. I know that was a lot, but managing these settings will help you economize your defensive missiles. They always go faster than you think they will. Interceptor missiles excel at defeating threats at a much longer range than most other point defenses are capable of. That's extremely important when it comes to the most dangerous types of missiles we'll talk about next. Hybrids. Hybrid missiles are advanced, multi-stage missiles which can wreak havoc on a fleet if not countered during their cruise stage. Once they initiate their terminal sprint, a laser is about the only thing that can stop them.
See.
Imagine trying to shoot down a corkscrewing telephone pole, traveling at nearly 1 kilometer per second, and that's what facing a hybrid missile is like. Some of these missiles also carry penetration aids, such as self-screening radar jammers and decoy launchers.
Pretty deadly.
Fortunately, you don't actually have to imagine, because I've got 4 of them on the way.
Oh. Oh shit.
If you want to make any changes to your PD missile,
Red alert.
better do it now.
Helm, take us in.
There we are.
Solution locked in.
And how do I do the Z, right?
Aye aye. We are tracking a spiker.
Biker. All right.
Solution locked in.
Ah, I see. Oh crap.
Send traffic.
Lock.
Aye aye. Preparing to launch.
Dude, what the fuck? I think we did it.
Send traffic.
I think we did it.
Phew,
Reversing front.
wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Aye aye. Proceeding.
You can usually expect the enemy to reserve these kinds of missiles for killing capital ships, due to their destructive power, cost, and limited number.
I see.
The best way to defend against them is with proper positioning of screening escorts, which can enable early detection so you can get your defensive missiles out there and engage them during their vulnerable cruise stage. Well, Commander, that about covers it for the absolute
I think I
basics
did pretty
of the
well.
SMD. Good luck out there. Hazel out.
Okay. Jamming the enemy, firing the rockets. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I guess this is it. I mean, so I finished the tutorial, right? I don't know if I can really do anything else in the... I can do this in the demo, but I don't think I can actually play it. I can just take a quick look. Fleet composition. Let's say I want I don't know. I don't know what I want. So this is the top. Oh, this is the launcher. Yeah. No load. And this can be antenna. It's funny. Can also be launcher. You need to go under missile designer. Ah, I see. Tier 2. You mean size? The only thing I remember, there were different types, right? The one that need direct line of fire, and then, but I think it looked like this. Change the color. Go with pink. Hello Kitty. Rocket. Whoa. Holy crap. Look at this. Dude. That's crazy. I can go super slow. Top speed. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, I understand maybe, you know, tweaking, but this is like so detailed. We're going top speed. And we go high explosive. The more advanced form capable of allowing the complex waypoint path. Oh, so here I choose actually if it's direct or is it a cruise missile. Go cruise. Damn. Launch type. The missile will maneuver around the launching ship with thrusters. Hot. The missile's engine will ignite immediately. Good for getting the missile moving quickly. Yeah. I see. I like it hot. I like my missiles hot. Lost behavior, right. Self-destruct. Interesting. Terminal maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers. Oh, interesting. But then why would I choose none? What is the advantage of having no evasive maneuver when reaching the target? Maneuver increase the point. Oh, you're right. Missile cost. Okay. Do I need to save it, right? Oh, there's more. I don't know, shit. I remember some of these. I don't know. Electro-optical seeker. So these are the types. A bottle of highly compressed cold gas to supplement the ejection charge for a cold-launched missile. Decoys. Ejecting a series of rocket-powered decoys Very cool. Wait. Low power jammer. Oh, so I can mount a jammer onto the missile. Command receiver. I think this is like important, right? And then yeah. Well, this is type 3. Okay. Sure. I'm about to finish really soon. Just want to toy with this a little. Create type 3. So there's 2 types, hybrid and then kind of regular torpedo. Incredible damage at short range. All of these are super expensive actually. Thousands of shrapnel fragments. Okay, this one's gonna be cold. Ardent skin. Oh. Only 6 of those though. So I could mount jammer. I only have missiles. I don't. How about we just go with one of those? Laser. Gun plotting center. Not enough crew. Say what? Can I add more crew? Weapon sensors. Storage. I want human storage. Oh, there we go. Crew. Birthing. This is what we want, right? There we go. Now that's a beautiful ship. You're back. Welcome back. I added laser, a super cool Type 3 torpedoes, more crew quarters, and gun plotting center. You need to press plus button to start modifying. Where? Oh, this? This will be saved? Is it saved? Right. Blank hull. Let's go with template. No. Ooh. Right, so there was there's a battleship, heavy cruiser, and this is what? Corvette? No, this is frigate, right? And corvettes are good scout ships. Battleship is the fattest. Yeah, for sure. Oh, there are factions. Wow. And how many people are 150? There are two factions. Each have their own types. Wow. I had no idea. Okay. Okay, I mean, I think I did pretty much everything that is there in the demo. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Let me... The lower is the other faction is Rebellious Working Class. So they have... Oh, repurposed. I see. Oh, I see. It would be cool. I don't know if you know Legend of the Galactic Heroes anime. They have there are some really cool there are like these two main factions in that anime. What do I want to do? See. Nebulous. I don't want. I really want a Warhammer 40k. Oh, you're a Warhammer guy. I would like a Star Trek mod. That would be freaking cool. This, I mean, I like the design of the ships. I like that they're kind of, you know, squarish. Actually, I'll show you, because you may not know. Because the ships actually kind of remind me a little, I guess. Well, not exactly, but maybe the color. Maybe I was thinking because of the color. Seems like I could get this game pretty cheap. $50 is like what? €12? Maybe even less. And I'm actually interested in, because there was I was reading their campaign. Yeah, it's like 50% off from, you know, not from Steam, but the key.
Logs, which we've been working on for the last couple of months since right after the first round of
look,
bug
the station
fixes following Carrier's release. I've been really
I wonder if you can design
enjoying working on the campaign so far, because it's a lot more of an artistic pursuit than our previous updates have been. Like, obviously there's been lots of design work for what ships and craft and stuff are going to look like, but this is the first one that is pretty much explicitly focused on art and storytelling. In this devlog, we're going to talk about story setup and objectives for the campaign, the design of...
Okay, I don't want to spoil myself, but I want to look...
the systems and demonstrate mechanics, but the actual campaign layout will look different from this. The overworld map is made up of a bunch of individual skirmish locations tied together by these links, and then with a solar system underlay.
This is fresh.
I think it harkens back to the design of the Conquest map, but a little more gamified, but still kind of paying homage to it. And I think the underlay is really important for a sense of kind of reference and ways to tell at the same time. And one final treat for the campaign before we move on.
Wait, so there's more tutorials? So you're telling me I'm still a scrub after freaking 3 hours of tutorial mines? But honestly, it's pretty cheap. I think I'll just grab it. And I'll see what's more there to do. Vector learning. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe we can do some one-on-one if it's possible. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna head off now. It's getting a little late. Still have some stuff to do. Thanks a lot. And thanks for recommending this to me. I never heard of this game. And it seems to be quite a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll message you when I don't know, when I get it or something. Okay. Sure, I will. Okay, thanks. Thanks again. Thanks for helping me out with the tutorial and all. And I see you later. Bye-bye.